The most dangerous thief in our homes does not break the lock. It does not wear a mask. It waits for salary day, smiles quietly, and steals with our own thumbprint. I caught that thief at 2:13 in the morning. My nephew Rafi was sitting at the dining table, staring at his mobile banking app like he had seen a ghost. 3 days ago, his salary came. 38,000. Tonight, his balance was only 2,700. He looked at me and whispered, "Uncle, where did it go?" I did not answer quickly, because 40 years ago, I asked the same question. I was young then. Thick black hair, proud shirt, new shoes, big dreams. On salary day, I used to feel like a king. By the 10th day, I felt like a beggar pretending to be normal. By the 20th day, I avoided tea stalls because even tea felt expensive. By the 25th day, I borrowed money and promised myself, next month will be different. But next month was never different. Rafi thought someone had cheated him. I told him, "Yes, Beta, someone did." He leaned closer. "Pooh." I pointed at his phone. Then I pointed at his wallet. Then I pointed at his head. And I said, "The thief is not one person. It is a system. And tonight, I will show you how it steals." My first proper salary came in a brown envelope. I still remember the smell of that paper. It was not a big salary, but in my hand, it felt like a mountain. That evening, I walked through the market slowly, like everyone should notice me. I bought sweets for my mother. Good. I bought a shirt for myself. Still okay. Then I bought sandals, perfume, snacks for friends, a movie ticket, and a fancy dinner I could not afford. By night, I had spent almost 1/4 of my salary, but I did not feel worried. Do you know why? Because the month had just started. That is the trap. On salary day, the month looks small and the salary looks big. But after 10 days, the month becomes a giant. Rent stands at the door. Groceries knock from the kitchen. Transport pulls your pocket. Parents need medicine. Children need school fees. And suddenly, that big salary becomes a tiny umbrella in heavy rain. Rafi listened silently. I asked him, "What did you do when your salary came?" He smiled with shame. "Uncle, I ordered biryani." "Only biryani?" "And paid 3 bills." "Good." "And bought headphones." "And sent money home." "Good." "And went out with friends." "And then, small things." I laughed. Small things are never small when they come every day. That is when Rafi looked nervous, because the real story had begun. I took a notebook and wrote Rafi's salary at the top, 38,000. He looked happy seeing the number. Then I asked, "How much is rent?" He said, 10,000. I crossed it out. "How much for groceries?" 8,000, maybe 9. I crossed it out. "Transport?" 3,000. Crossed. "Mobile, internet, electricity?" 4,000. Crossed. "Money sent to parents?" 5,000. Crossed. "Loan payment?" He looked down. 3,000. Crossed. The 38,000 was still written at the top, but underneath, only a few thousand were breathing. I said, "Rafi, your salary did not disappear. Most of it was already promised before it arrived." That sentence hit him hard, because most people do not spend their salary after getting it. They spend it before getting it. Rent already knows your payday. Electricity bill knows your payday. Your loan knows your payday. Even your favorite food delivery app knows your payday. So, when money enters your account, everyone is waiting in line. And you, the person who worked the whole month, stand last. This was my biggest mistake when I was young. I thought my full salary belonged to me. But my real salary was what remained after responsibilities. When I understood that, my pride broke, but my life improved. Because the truth hurts once, a lie hurts every month. After fixed expenses, Rafi still had some money. He said, "See, Uncle, I should still have enough." I said, "Yes. Now show me the small things." He said, "Small things don't matter." I smiled. That sentence is very expensive. I asked him to open his transaction history. Tea, snacks, ride-sharing, extra mobile data, online sale, food delivery, a small gift, another tea, another snack, one subscription he forgot, one convenience fee, one only today offer, one I deserve it purchase. None of them looked dangerous alone, but together they were a quiet army. I told Rafi about my own old habit. Every afternoon, I drank tea with biscuits at the office gate. Not costly. Then I took a rickshaw instead of walking a short distance. Not costly. Then I bought snacks for colleagues because I wanted to look generous. Not costly. At the end of the month, I wondered why I had no money. The answer was not one big mistake. It was 27 small mistakes holding hands. Budgeting is not about becoming cheap. No. A life without tea, snacks, friends, and small joys becomes dry. But you must know the price of your pattern. Not the price of one tea, the price of 30 teas. Not one food delivery, 4 weekends of food delivery. Not one ride, a month of rides. The leak that sinks the boat is rarely dramatic. It is usually tiny, and it happens daily. Then I asked Rafi the question he did not want to hear. Why do you have a loan payment? He said, it was for my phone. Was your old phone broken? Not broken, slow. I nodded. That is how debt enters. Not always through emergency. Sometimes it enters through impatience. I told him about the year I bought a beautiful radio. In those days, that radio was my pride. When guests came, I turned the volume slightly higher so they would notice. I bought it on monthly payments. Then I bought furniture on monthly payments. Then clothes before I'd on monthly payments. Then I borrowed for a cousin's wedding. Each payment looked manageable, but together they became a wall. My salary came in the front door and walked straight to yesterday's decisions. I was working today to pay for things I had already enjoyed. That is a painful feeling. Rafi was quiet. So I told him, debt is not always bad. A business loan, education, a real emergency, sometimes these can make sense. But debt for showing people you are doing well? That is dangerous because people clap for one evening. But the installment visits every month, and it does not care about your mood. It does not care about inflation. It does not care that your cousin's wedding was beautiful. It simply says, pay me first. This is how salary disappears fast, not because the salary is too small only, but because part of it belongs to the past. In our part of the world, money is not just money. Money is love. Money is duty. Money is respect. Money is family. That is why budgeting becomes emotional. A mother needs medicine. A younger brother asks for help. A cousin is getting married. A friend says, come, Yar, just one dinner. Your child wants what other children have, and your heart says yes before your wallet speaks. I know this feeling very well. Once, my mother needed tests at the clinic. I had no emergency fund, so I borrowed. Next month, I paid the loan. Then school fees came. I borrowed again. Then a wedding came. Again. I was not careless because I was bad. I was careless because I had no plan for love. That is important. If family matters to you, budget for family. If festivals matter to you, budget for festivals. If giving matters to you, budget for giving. Otherwise, every emotional moment becomes a financial surprise, and every surprise attacks your salary. I told Rafi, a budget is not a prison. It is permission. Permission to help without destroying yourself. Permission to enjoy without guilt. Permission to say, I can give this much now and more later. Many people are afraid to say no, but sometimes a small, honest no saves you from a big, desperate lie. A budget does not remove love from life. It protects love from panic. That night, I showed Rafi the method that saved me. Not a complicated method. No fancy finance words. Just 5 places for money to go. First, house. Rent, electricity, gas, internet, water. These are not surprises. They are scheduled guests. Second, daily life. Groceries, transport, mobile recharge, lunch, basic needs. This envelope must survive the whole month. Third, family and giving. Parents, medicine, gifts, festivals, emergencies for people you love. This protects your heart. Fourth, future. Savings, emergency fund, investment, education, debt repayment. This pays the person you will become. Fifth, joy. Eating out, Tea with friends, small shopping, movies, treats. This protects your budget from becoming punishment. Then I told him the golden rule. The first hour after salary arrives is the most powerful hour of the month. Do not celebrate first. Divide first. Pay essentials. Move savings. Keep debt payment ready. Then celebrate with what is truly yours. Rafi asked, "How much should I save?" I said, "Start with what you can repeat. Even 5% is better than a dramatic plan you quit after 1 month. The goal is not perfection. The goal is control. Your money needs jobs before your desires give it random work." That night, Rafi created separate wallets in his banking app. He named one, "Do Not Touch." I liked that one very much. 1 month later, Rafi came to me with a different face. Not rich, not magical, but lighter. He said, "Uncle, for the first time, I know where my money went." That is the beginning of financial peace. Not having unlimited money, knowing the truth. He still drank tea. He still helped his parents. He still met friends. But now his money had boundaries. When the Joy wallet became empty, he stopped ordering food and cooked eggs at home. When transport money became low, he walked short distances. When a sale appeared online, he waited 24 hours. Most times, the desire disappeared before the discount ended. That is when he understood. A budget does not make you poor. A budget shows you where you are already becoming poor. Then Rafi asked me, "Uncle, did you ever become rich?" I laughed. I said, "Beta, I did not become rich like in movies. But I stopped fearing the last week of the month. I stopped borrowing for normal expenses. I built a small emergency fund. I slept better. And sometimes, peace is the first form of wealth. So tonight, when your salary comes, do not ask only, "What can I buy?" Ask, "What must this money protect?" Your home, your family, your future, your dignity. Because your salary is not disappearing. It is following instructions. And if you do not give it instructions, the world will.